Well, how's it going, Kingsman? Welcome back to another NTW3 battle. Today, we have another 4v4. This is on the map of Monterey? I'm not sure. I'm gonna pretend like I know exactly how to spell that. Also, a little sleep deprived, so, you know, my brain's not gonna be functioning at full capacity. But, you know, I'm excited to be back. It looks like a very, very beautiful battle on this. Look at this map. You got nice open fields with a lot of trees kind of surrounding it. The coalition holding kind of this higher ground with the cities or the little villages. Have some rivers they can kind of use to their own advantage. And then, of course, the French coming in from 3-4 different directions at once. This should make for a good one. Now, before we get too much into this, let's go over the factions. So, on the coalition side, you're having two 1814 9-point Russia, Fantasia, and then you're gonna have a 9-point UK, Portugal, and a 7-point Iran. Going up against them is an 8-point España, two 9-point France, Italy's, and a 8-point France 1814. So, you know, some really cool factions. France, Italy, definitely a very good one, especially having two of those. Should make for some interesting plays here. I do believe, is that a little cav skirmish here? You got to remember, Iran probably has some cavalry scattered, sprinkled throughout the battlefield. They're going to be very, well, we'll see how well they're going to play, if they're going to do a lot of hit and run tactics, or maybe they'll just collapse on their face. Who knows? Iran's a wild card. This is how it is. So, of course, like I said, they have the two France, Italy's in the front, facing off against one of the 9-point Russias. The other one is definitely back here. The UK will be the first one to reinforce this Russia. And then, of course, the other Russia and Iran on the other side here. Definitely looks like we may have a focus of attack here in this one little area. We will see. There's a lot of Russian cavalry here. Now, for both Russian armies, they're almost the same when it comes to numbers. One has 1,843 men, the other one has 1,952 men. I'm seeing some cavalry here, so dragoons and, well, more dragoons. Lots of dragoons. And, of course, some infantry, light infantry, it looks like, pushing forward here. Oh, I did miss a cavalry engagement. It looks like Russia committing to a fight here, sending in some dragoons, broke some chasseurs cheval, and is now clashing with the 9th. More dragoons have moved, oh, not dragoons, but more Gassaris have moved up in support, and now they're engaged with the 14th chasseurs cheval. Things looking pretty good for Russia so far. They've definitely won the cav engagement, France having lost 3 cavalry units so far to the Russians 1. Now we are seeing, like I said, the Russia has set up by this town hall. France has a small contingent of their infantry just standing out, maybe to distract Russia. I guess we'll see momentarily. I mean, another France is going to be pushing up here on the flank here, going down this road between Iran and Russia. Here are more cavalry. But obviously Russia has to deal with a little bit of a significant flanking force here by the French. I see a lot of guard in this army as well, so, you know, not something to be taken lightly if you're the coalition here. That's some pretty hefty pack-a-punch kind of units here, even good cavalry. Yes, look at that. So yeah, Russia, I mean, right now they're kind of ignoring this whole army and they're going straight across, it looks like, to unite on the right flank of this other Russia, who is facing off everything. I don't know where the UK are going. Maybe they're going to shift into this side and Russia's going to push across. UK being on the flank then. Only time will tell. And obviously, you know, you have Iran holding the left side. Looks like France is actually making a tiny bit of a push up. Artillery moving in the back. And you have the Russian artillery firing here. More French forming up. We have yet to see where this France-Italy is going to form. He has taken the forest right in front of Iran. Iran having made their position very clear. as to where they're going to make their stand. I feel like Iran's going to be the weak link. I feel like they could use some support. That's just me, though. And we do have España going to roll up to take on Russia. Now, Russia's going to be in a bit of a conundrum pretty soon here, because they obviously know there's a French army on their flank. They have troops across this river. It's all fordable, but still, they are going to get hit from two sides. Not an ideal place to be if you're, Russia at this point. They do have artillery setting up to then be very defensive and cover their flank. I'm seeing UK cavalry, so I'm going to assume that the UK are close behind the generals right here, but maybe Russia's taken the entirety of this flank. And you have the elite French units who are going to be taking shots from Russian artillery. You just also see this cavalry, and these guys are not hidden anymore. So it's pretty obvious where the French are for this Russia. But the most action we may get may be over here first, where the France-Italys are forming up, and Iran is still... Iran has artillery right up in the front lines. They're ready to receive France, but if France bum rushes them, and in fact, I would stack up my assault columns right here. Try to use this road. I know there's trees, so maybe it's slowed down a little bit. But hitting right here by Iran, having cavalry that issues out of the tree line, just smacks into these Iran lines, would be beautiful. It would do very well. That would be my prediction on that side. But looking at this side, this is a pretty good angle for France to attack. Quite honestly, look at this. Two sides going. The French going straight across here. They have a nice river to defend their flanks. You see more and more Russians here. Oh, wow. They are committing to a line or a fight across the river, ignoring this France advance on the flank. That's gonna make things interesting. And the UK are in the center. Okay, so the UK are not on the flank. They're pushing center, where France has also started pushing their troops forward. Still not a whole lot here. We do have a potential flanking force being assembled here. Yeah, that's a lot of France's Italy. That's a lot of troops right there. That's 7. Oh, wow. What is that? 13 lines plus a decent amount of cavalry. Mostly some small, heavier cav. Still, that's probably going to smack into Iran's flank if I were to predict anything. But here we go. Look at this. Russia pushing for their troops. France meeting them with skirmishers, and then of course they have their lines prepping to engage as well. On the flank here, you can see Russia having to try to pull back as the lines are just getting very aggressive here by France. A little strung out, in my opinion. These are kind of really, really long lines. You should have them more in a column-like formation. For many, many reasons. But, ooh, may have France-España trying to close in for some melee. Cavalry may actually be there to stop them, though. And Russia sees it and is pulling back already. They are not going to be... They are wise to not try to take in that engagement here. Now, we do have the potential flank moving forward. First, the Hussars closing with Iran. And then here comes the assault issuing out of the trees. You have the first line, mostly chasseurs, some L6s, very fast moving. Then the main assault with the grenadiers will be following quickly behind them. And Iran needs to react to this, as in maybe follow those troops back or get some cavalry in here. Try to get my heavy cavalry in here, maybe. Let's check in here. Let's see what's happening. Looks like Russia actually maybe trying to go on the offensive. There's some dragoons here. Is Russia going for the attack? Oh my goodness, what a gorgeous charge by the cuirassiers from Russia. They are making life a hell for this France-Espagne. The infantry are still a little bit behind the cavalry, but there's some light infantry here which look like they're trying to get some fire in here. France may try to get some bayonet charges off on them. Heavy cav still is tying up at least a good chunk of this French army. More cavalry now from Russia pouring in. Here goes a Russian assault here. More cavalry pushing in the rear. Now he does have a counter charge. He's going to hit a square from Russia. Over on this side, we do have Iran getting hit pretty hard here. Cavalry went in. I'm assuming taking out the artillery piece. Iran looks like actually they're more trouble. France-Espagne still has a bit of a, you know, a handle still on things here. Iran may be in danger. We'll go back. It looks like the UK have closed in with France. Italy over here. Russia has made quite the move. France trying to pull back, reorganize, as the cavalry infantry coordination from Russia is just painful. More of Russia now pushing back. They're trying to delay France. France is kind of going for a long flank here. They should probably just cut in here and just go for the rear. They're going to take a very long time to get there. Let's check in on Iran and see if they have crumbled. Yep, it's not looking too good here, guys. 59th is cutting pretty deep into their lines. Some grenadiers making some impact as well. Now cavalry is charging in. This is going to turn into a nightmare for Iran very quickly here. They gotta just pull back the entire line here, save 1 or 2 units, pull all the way back to their Russian ally, kind of chalk your losses up here. Russia is going in again. Cavalry charging in on Espagne. Espagne breaking here. Some squares were formed, but Russia's going to get up nice and close and personal now. The UK actually making a pretty significant push here. France, Italy, they're not going to do too hot in this line fight here with the UK. They're going to start losing that fight. At the same time, Iran is just getting rolled back. They're going to get away with barely any of their troops. That's my prediction. Over here, France, Italy, or France, Espagne. Well, it looks like he's counter-charging here. But I think Russia may have just crushed them. All this Russian cavalry is becoming a hell on earth for the French. Yeah, I think this French army went a little too ambitious with the flank. However, things seem to be kind of even keeling out here. Russia was successful, but so was France over here. Iran is basically in total shambles here. And Russia has to react to this flank that is just collapsing in on itself. As this France, Italy, very successful. It's going to start pushing pretty hard, trying to maybe trigger more mass routing from Russia as Iranian troops start tumbling into them. It looks like UK getting hit kind of hard here, but... Ooh, that's a good charge. Russia could... that was a very good call by this Russia. They had a French army behind them, or on their flank. They ignored it, basically, and went straight up. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to go for Espagne and kill them quickly, which they did. And now they can turn. They have high ground. They can turn onto this 8-point France and try to drive them back if they cross across the river. But, of course, this France could roll in over here and try to hit the UK in the rear. Guess we'll see momentarily here. France kind of was making some good gains here. You see they've broken a lot of the coalition, but still, they may need to rest up just a little bit. Pace themselves here, wait for their ally to see what happens. So over here, the UK are just doing a beautiful job. Looks like Russia's still going for the flank here. That officer's getting some. He's like, let's go, boys. I know we're light infantry, but, you know, we can fight. Gosh. Snap his neck. But anyway, Espana's definitely the last leg here. France pushing over to try to help him out here, the Imperial Guard, so Russia's going to have to turn and face that. That'll be an interesting fight here as it develops. Over here, it looks like some UK cavalry really starting to run over some of France-Italy's troops here. So the French definitely not doing too hot. When it comes to fighting the UK have definitely done an excellent job here. Even sending in their fusiliers to break some of that French line. This French army is looking rough. Thankfully, they had another France-Italy that did very well over here, so I don't know, guys. It's still very much up in the air. I mean, France could easily win this. The coalition could definitely still win this. I mean, if you look at it, they've broken most of España. They've broken a lot of this France-Italy, but there's still 2 more armies for them. Iran's broke, but Iran was a 7-pointer. The lowest points on the coalition's team. So it could be anyone's game still. It really could. Oh, some Hussars gonna go in now. Good luck trying to fight off those. Got a nice countercharge though with some heavy cav. Russia trying to react to the reinforcing French. Just one thing after another, you know, and this is some elite troops. Definitely going to be tough to just break and to shock. He's probably going to reunite with his allies best he can, use the hill as more or less cover to then reunite. At this point, that's what they need to do. They need to have a united front against the enemy because they're just a tiny bit spread out here. The UK is definitely still with Russia over on this side, but you can see France is actually going to meet with the rest of France-Italy. Look at the bayonet charge here with some grenadiers. That's a little, like, not mass melees as much as it is just some nice little charges here. Look at this guy. I think it's the officer. Getting some good kills there. Oh, that's a drummer. Never mind, that's a drummer. But anyway, let's take a scope out here. So the UK, Russia, and the other Russia seem to be, for the most part, uniting here. France, with a little bit of what's left of España, is trying to push on this Russia. We have the rest of that 8-point France pushing through here, even getting kind of clashing here by the town with Russia. We have some of that guard units. Oh, we have a Russian guard coming forward. All right, it's a battle of the guards. But this army is pretty healthy still, so, you know, that's going to help them out, holding back the UK. The UK probably are a little bit bloodied here. This Russia seems decently well off. Not seeing a lot of aggression from this 8-pointer. But I assume he'll have a rear guard maybe hold by the LOC, and they'll kind of, you know, use that as their point of stopping the French from pushing. They have a river still over here, at least to defend. I'm surprised the French didn't advance across this river. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot even here. Well, it looks like Russia's going in for the French near the town here. Hey, this officer doing well. Oh man, he's gotten even a kill or two. Alright, so the UK are going to fall back. Consolidation, I'm sure, is what they're mostly stressing. And Russia managed to take hold of this portion of the town, which is going to kind of help secure their flank, as this is kind of a crossroads. It'll be a little more difficult for the French to actually push, with Russia holding it. Now we do have, some Guard Chasseur Cheval breaking some of the Russian Guard. Guard de Guard. Well, we know who won that one. I suspect it kind of is looking a little more hopeful for the French at this point, to be honest. They have two almost entirely fresh armies, and then two badly bloodied armies. But still, I feel like they can do this. French can win this. So they're gonna go for the artillery piece. That's a lot of Russian Guard. I'm just realizing that's 4 units, 5 units? Or is that just their uniforms? I think that's all Russian Guard. Pretty sure. The Battle of the Guards. I will see where the French kind of develop their attack. This 8.1814 doesn't seem super aggressive when it comes to tactics, as in, you know, maybe they prefer to just stand and shoot and let the artillery do some gunning, versus the France-Italy over here that tries to close in for melee with cav. Now we know how this Russia plays. They throw cavalry and infantry in here. You can see some infantry's kind of sneaking over here. And they'll go for a bit of a melee. However, there is some support here on the flank for France. And these units are probably about to fire. Still looks very cool though. Man, look at these guys. Oh, we have a cav charge. Cavalry going in now. Russia's gonna take some pretty heavy losses here. But still, the cavalry are gonna make their hit, and Russia sending infantry forward. This is kind of what they need to do at this point. They really need to focus down the French. And it's working quite well, actually. You know, we do have some cavalry. Don't know where exactly they're going to go, but they're going to smack into this Dragoon unit. Here come Crossiers to bolster this attack. Here goes the madness. The cavalry everywhere, infantry kind of mingled in there. France getting charged here. Now they did send in their cavalry, which is going to stop Russia from being able to take that flank. And these Trilliers may actually be able to fire. But Russia's looking pretty good right now. They may actually take this. The guard gets toppled. There's still more over here, but still. This is not a good sign for the French. They lost some really good units here, just to some cav charges. And, however, we do have France, Italy going in again. The UK definitely will not be able to handle this charge, so things could still tip into the balance. It's a constant balancing scale in this battle. Constantly going back and forth. One side gets the upper hand and the other side makes a bold move and it wins. This is a typical Russian or assault against a line with infantry. If you ever see this, columns with columns behind them plus cavalry, well, you know exactly what's about to happen. There goes the square. Now the French infantry is going to go in here. They did stop this line from being able to form up and shoot point blank. Maybe he's going to shoot out a bayonet charge. There we go. And a volley from the French line. And the UK are in trouble. Could you imagine being in this, like this whole chaos that's unfolding here? Some volleys being fired. Here we go. France is committing along an entire scale of the field here. More and more French going in. Let's see if the UK can get some counter volleys off first. Oh yeah. That was a good volley. They broke them. I mean, more. You could have another troop following them behind. But Russia is pushing up to kind of reinforce here as the UK start crumbling. Still, France is meleeing everywhere, and it seems to be working quite well for them.
Our men are running, sir.
The line on the left has held so far. Imagine being on there and being, you know, the pivotal left flank. Artillery still holding. We have some lines of Russians reinforcing the center. This is where things are getting a little hot for the coalition. That's one massive battle. Alright, so from the air here, you can see France has pushed in quite a bit here on the flank, even cavalry running in from the rear, smacking in, just breaking whatever Russian reinforcements starting to go there. Russia had to throw in their reserves into this left flank as France went in again with more lines here. Another bayonet charge, and they have plenty of reserves here. Russia had to commit those troops instead of being able to shift them towards the center. Although they did have a couple of troops which they have committed to the center here, you can see. Breaking some of that French line, but still, their lines are becoming stretched a little bit thin here. As we even have the French 8-pointer counterattacking whatever's left of Iran and whatever Russian forces were left to guard this spot.
Our men are running, sir.
But I'm starting to see a lot more French making it way through, and I'm seeing coalition breaking. We'll see how well they hold this small grove. This has been a place of hot contest. Or say hotly contested. I think I even have a sword. Oh, there it is. Eesh. Oh, the flag bearer, he's dead. Oh no. The UK are like, yeah, screw it, guys. I know this Russian's right in front of us. Just shoot into him. Who cares? Ooh, that's not good. Mons, one of the Russian generals, has been killed by the 92nd. As this grove collapses, unfortunately, for the coalition. The last little defense here sits over here, and whatever's left of France, or of Russia over here, is getting kind of ridden down by, well, some dragoons. It's turning, unfortunately, it's turning into a bit of a rout here for Russia. Their allies, at least. And when it comes down to LOCs, each one seems to be worth 1 point. There's tons of time left. 27 minutes remaining. At this point, Russia probably just going to sell their lives dearly and try to make it work here. As France is going to march through victoriously over the bloodied field. So we have a tiny bit of the UK left over here. Well played, definitely on both sides. There were some really good plays. I loved the Russian assault on 8-point España. It was a thunderbolt, and it worked so well. It's a pity they ran out of men before they could do it again. I mean, technically they did it to this 8-pointer, broke over half their army. Oh, the cavalry is going to roll into the Russians.
We have killed their generals. Now they must retreat.
Oh, the UK's general has been killed. That's probably the end of the UK. And Russia will be quickly following, I would assume. think that's basically it here. The last little bit of Russia is here, now defending. Man, Russia usually breaks by now. This is crazy. But anyway, I won't. Well, yeah, I won't dwell on a lost battle here. I'm just gonna hit the fast forward button. Coalition, unfortunately, have lost the field unless they have a bunch of troops which are rushing to LOCs. They are gonna lose, and maybe they'll concede the LOC. Just, you know, because there's so much time left. Either way, if nothing else happens, I'll just skip to the end so we can see the results. Alright guys, so an Imperial victory, well fought on both sides. Let me pull up the results here. So as you can see, Xerxes is playing 8-point España, got 981 kills, did pretty well considering got hit pretty hard by that 9-point Russia really early on. Took it well, obviously got some almost 1,000 kills, so I'd say that's decent. I'm pretty happy if I hit close to 1,000 kills. Honestly, I feel like I played really well then. Then you have Argens as one of the France-Italys with 1955. One dude as the other France-Italy, 666 kills. You have Al with 1351 as the 8-point 1814 France. Other side, you have Chain, 9-point Russia, 1439. Other Russia, Lons, 1265. Will as the UK with 1157. And then Jazz as Iran with 464 for the kills. So, but yeah, that was a good battle. Very well played. I loved how it kept going back and forth. I mean, I love when that happens when one side is like, wow, they're winning. But if you look at the other side of the field, you're like, wow, they're losing. And then eventually it boils down to, you know, who won bigger on their side when they finally clash in the middle. And it does appear that the French managed to pull it out. So, good game. Good game. Anyway, guys, that'll be it for me today. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed. You guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe. And as always, I will catch you all in another video.